Welcome. My name is Bob Muenkel. You may know me as UncleMuenkel. Today's lesson is a segment from my online course, Feature Benefit SSDR. Now, many have said that SSDR is the best method to involve and engage customers. I agree. The best part is everyone can learn this. Now, it's your turn. If you want to be the best sales associate in your company, then SSDR is for you. But first, we must examine how the human brain processes information. Before we begin, let's thank our sponsor, Englander. Englander has been changing the way people sleep since 1894. Today's Englander mattresses look and feel great because they're innovative and they're designed and built in the U.S. To learn more about Englander, contact Lou Page, President and CEO, or call your local sales representative. Tell them UncleMuenkel sent you. So let's get started. Class is now in session. SSDR. Of all the sales techniques that I teach and have been teaching for years, Feature Benefit SSDR may be the most impactful of all of them, driving better and better results as you acquire these skills. Now, this is a skills-based training, which means today's video is the beginning of a journey of practice so that you can actually implement these skills and watch your results explode. So let's begin with a simple concept. Consumers rarely buy features. They always buy benefits. To illustrate this, let's begin with a story. For many years, I was traveling to convention centers and all types of venues, and I would set up in public places, hallways and lobbies, and I would run an experiment. And what I would do is I would sit down and I would have a small table in front of me and there would be a chair opposite me. In my hand was a piece of paper. On that piece of paper, I had 15 objects listed as words. Sunglasses, astronaut. I had a small working Etch-a-Sketch. For those of you old enough, you know what I'm talking about. A paper clip, a spinning top, contact lens case, a wooden block, a grasshopper, a little toy car. I had a spool of thread, a keychain, a button, a little teddy bear, a binder clip, and a comb. You can see the photo on your screen right now. 15 assorted random objects. Now, I had these objects with me, but I did not show them to my participants. What I would do is I would ask folks passing by if they would help me with a brief experiment and explain to them it was a simple memory experiment. It would only take a minute or two, and I could be fairly convincing. So I got a number of people to sit down. These are older folks and younger folks and kids and males and females and everything in between. Whoever wanted to participate, that was my subject. So let's set the stage. I'm sitting in a chair. There's a table in front of me. I have a piece of paper in my hand with those 15 objects listed on the piece of paper. My subject had nothing in their hand. They could not see what I was reading. And I would explain to them the following. You will be read a list of objects. After the list has been read, please proceed to the next station where you will be asked to write down as many items as you can remember. And next to me on the next table was a stack of paper and a pen. So really very simple. You'll be read a list of objects. After the list has been read, please proceed to the next station where you will be asked to write down as many items as you can remember. And then I would proceed to go through and read one at a time, out loud, sunglasses. And once they acknowledge that, astronaut, Etch-a-Sketch. Now with young kids, I used the term iPad instead of an Etch-a-Sketch because they didn't know what an Etch-a-Sketch was. Paper clip, spinning top, contact lens case. I would go through all 15 objects. And once my participant acknowledged that they heard all 15, they would then go to the next table and they would proceed to write down as many as they can remember. and I would collect that information. Now, it's not an experiment unless you have two groups. So the second group, the setup was different. On your screen, you can see those 15 objects randomly on a white hotel towel. So on this table in front of me, I would have this white towel with these 15 objects just randomly placed in front of them. And I would hand them the instructions, just like the first group, but their instructions were different. You will be read a list of objects. After the item has been read to you, pick it up, examine it, place it back down on the table. Once you have examined all of the items on the table, please proceed to the next station where you will be asked to write down as many items as you can remember. So once they acknowledge the instructions, they could see the items on the towel, I would proceed to list or read out loud each of these items. Comb. Now the subject would actually find the comb on the towel, pick it up, examine it, place it back down on the towel. Car. They would find the car, pick up the car, examine that. Sunglasses. They would do that. They would go through all 15 objects and they would examine all 15 objects, place them back down on the table, and at the end of that, I would cover those objects up. They could no longer see them. Now they proceed to the next station where they're asked to write down as many as they can remember. So that was group 2. So we had group 1. I'm going to read out loud 15 objects. Now write down as many as you can remember. Group 2, I'm going to read out loud 15 objects, find it on the table, pick it up, examine it, place it back down on the table, cover it up. Now go down and write down as many as you can remember. So we have 2 simple groups. Now my question for you is this. One of those 2 groups outperformed the other group in the memory test. And if you think about it, it's probably pretty obvious. So you watching today, do you think group 1 remembered more objects than group 2? Nope, didn't work out that way. It was group 2. Each and every time, on average, they would remember more of those objects that were read out loud. Now, let's go to the numbers. On average, out of 15 objects, how many do you think group 1 remembered? Do you think it was 5, 7, 9, more? Do you think it was only 3? Well, it turns out that group 1, on average, only remembered 7 objects. Now, we know that group 2 outperformed group 1. So out of the 15 objects, how many do you think they remembered on average? Is it 8? Is it 9? Is it 10, 11, 12, 15? What do you think that number would be? Turned out in my experiment, it was 12. If you compare those 2 groups, group 1 remembering on average about 7, group 2 on average remembering about 12, that's a whopping outperformance. I mean, that is a big difference. So then the question is why? So why do you think group 2 remembers 12 of the 15 objects, while group 1 remembers only 7? Tune in next week for the answer. Today's lesson is a small sample of the many sales training courses offered online at allinonemattressexperts.com. That's allinonemattressexperts.com. I want to thank Englander for sponsoring UncleMuenkel content. Call Lou Page, President and CEO, to learn how Englander can help you grow your business. Thanks for joining me today.